Hi, everyone. Welcome to Nice Girls Don't Win. I'm your host, Parvati Shallow.
Oh, and I'm Amy Bean.
And we have a very special Mother's Day episode for you today. We're going to talk to our own moms.
I'm so excited.
Get a little insight into what made you who you are.
I know.
Because
This
you're
is
so
a privilege.
cool.
No, you're so cool. I
You're
need to
so
know how she raised a
special.
legend. It's like, what were the tools? I need to know.
And I need to
Because
know.
we're raising little legends.
We are raising legends. I think every child and every relationship with a mom and a kid is so different. And you have siblings. So how did your mom kind of tailor her mothering to you specifically? It's like hard work. You have 3 kids and they're all so different.
And they're all so different. And I think that's what we're going to learn today is like, because we're still in it, you know, I think talking to our moms is going to be helpful because they now get to watch us and like see us be moms. And like, I don't know, I'm excited to hear their take on it. But can
They
we
laid down
talk
the tracks. The mother of all mothers.
the mother of all mothers? I went to Beyonce. I know you went last
I'm
week.
so glad you had that experience. Did it change your life?
It was spiritual. It felt like therapeutic. I feel like the whole room was just in sync. Like we were on the same high together, on the beehive together. It was so sick. And like she opened it up with that song that's like history cannot be erased.
Oh my God.
And I am bawling because I am Native American. We're going to talk to my mom who's like hard, you know, those are her roots. And I felt so, I'm like, let's go, babe. You know, like B knows, like she can just bring it home. And then she's talking about like, what's the other song? Too Sexy for This World. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel it all. It's like,
she is
own it.
revolutionary in her performance. It was an art experience of like art and motion, of revolution, a spiritual experience. It was like church. It was like truly, I feel like molecularly reorganized.
That's how I felt. Like today, I'm just like, I can do anything.
I could do anything.
But also her daughters. Like, did you?
Yes, I was
also
crying. I was sobbing, crying when she
Gorgeous.
brought her daughter out and she
Blue
was singing the song.
Ivy,
And she was like,
just so hot. I'm like, yes, watching her transform into a little woman.
oh my God.
And then the little girl so like just happy to be there. I'm like, this is so sweet.
And what I love is how in her body she's so sexually empowered and strong and present and in her body and moves like she's so powerful. She doesn't shy away from that. She just owns it and claims it. And she commands the stage. She was flying around, flying on a horseshoe, flying in a car. If you have not seen Beyonce, do yourself a favor and change your life.
I've seen her 3 times.
I've seen her twice.
I
This was
think
my
she's
second time.
like probably one of the best performers of our time.
Yeah.
It's magical.
Magical in every way. So she's the mother of us all.
Yes. And so what are you doing for Mother's Day?
I mean, I don't really have a big plan, but maybe we'll just like have a little mommy. I like to do like mommy ama dates and
Cute.
we'll go and do something. Maybe we'll go to the movies or we'll go to a museum or go to the beach or play at
There's
the
a
park.
really fun, there's a bunch of fun new museums right now.
Well, we like to roller skate.
Oh yeah. I
So
did
we'll
that
probably-
with you.
Our
And fell and
skates
almost killed
on.
myself.
Oh my God, Amy, your little legs, your little stick legs.
So we were rollerblading and skating with our kids like all throughout Lodi, and the girls were trying to tag us, and they tagged you.
Yeah,
And
they
then
got me.
they
Well,
couldn't
I
get
know
me.
better than to really try to escape them.
I was escaping, and I fucking hit a curb, and
Amy wants to win no matter what, and it's like a game of tag with 5-year-olds.
Wait, did you also see my my competition I did with my husband this weekend?
Yeah, the sock. Tried to rip the sock off his foot.
So there's this like Instagram that's going around, a challenge, like a spouse challenge, where you take the sock from, each of you have a sock on, and you try to take the sock off the other person, and whoever takes the sock off wins. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill this guy, you know?
Yeah.
I got this, because I am quick
You're
and
so
stealthy.
scrappy.
So scrappy. But he's pretty strong. He works out every day. He fucking...
Also very competitive and not just going to let you win.
No, and I'm having like a good time doing it. He's literally like, get over here. Like, God, I could not stop laughing. It was ridiculous and so funny. But he pinned me down. I'm like, there's nothing else to do but poke him in the butt.
So you poked him in the butthole. Did he jump?
barely. That's when he got the sock. I was like, fuck.
Oh, so it backfired.
It backfired. So then just like,
No.
Then the second round, I accidentally kicked him in the balls. Nothing was working. Like
that didn't even work. I would resort to like biting, hair pulling. I think I would get really dirty.
I know. But it's your spouse. So you're trying to you can't physically really hurt them. But
I think we should do it. Me and you.
Yes.
Who do you think would win?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. We need to do like a, what is it? Best 2 out of 3. So then
Derek, Sam are nodding. And they're like, yeah,
okay,
let's do this. Go down.
Do it.
All right, clear off the podcast
today,
table.
But
I don't
let's
either.
do it. Let's do it next week.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have to do
We'll post it on our Instagram.
Okay, but also before we get to the interviews with our moms, we want to read some more of these questions that you guys sent in last week because we only got to read 1 or 2 last week. We were just chit-chatting with each other. So we have some good ones, and I think this one's perfect for our Mother's Day one.
Okay.
This one says, true thoughts, fears around aging in society as women. Love, you're both so confident.
Aw.
What's your take on that, especially in the entertainment industry and having to be on camera? Now you're doing this podcast.
I mean, it's so funny. I've talked to my mom about this. She was like, I look in the mirror now and I see a totally different person than who I think I am. Because when you grow up, I mean, I love a mirror. I'm always like, I'm vain. I've admitted that before. I don't think we should think that's a bad term. Like, I think I feel better and I'm nicer and I'm like cooler if I feel good about myself. And so I like to take care of myself. Sure, my hair needs to be dyed and I haven't washed it in 4 days, but like I do like to get dressed and put makeup on every day. And so I think it's up to you, but I really do think getting ready makes you feel better or working out makes you feel better. Like I was never that person before, but I think it really helps my mindset, just feeling and looking good. And
yeah,
are you looking at me like you're like, oh, you don't look.
I'm like, oh, you could use a little. No, I would never. You're beautiful. But I also think that part of your beauty and your radiance, it comes from inside because you're so happy and joyful and you're really generous and you care about other people. Yeah. And I think that is compelling. I think when people are happy, they're attractive.
Right. And I think the same for you. I mean, it's so fun to watch you. We are so similar, but also so different. Like you have a grace to you. Like you can just like walk into a room regardless of what just happened before, or if you're exhausted or you just had whatever it is, and you can own a room. And that takes skill. For me, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be on right now. Like you're so good at just being on. But it's natural, but because you're present or like, I don't know. So going back to aging in this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what I think with as far as aging goes, because I've been in now the television industry since I was 22 years old. So it's been 20 years. I'm 42 now. And I think I still look good. Like I'm not going to go and do like a bunch of crazy stuff to my face and body because I think when people do that at too young of an age, it actually makes it kind of backfires and makes them look older.
Yes.
So I am in the camp of, like you said, whatever makes you feel good. Like do what makes you feel good because people are going to judge and criticize regardless. So if you can get to a place where you like how you look, right. That's the most important thing because I think if you feel good and you're happy, that shines through and is very attractive.
Yeah.
And I also think everyone's going to have their own standard of beauty. Like my hair is starting to turn fully gray. And I'm like, oh my God, my hair is turning completely gray. And I'm kind of like, it's like every morning I'll wake up and I'll like, do I look different? Do I look like you can check yourself in the mirror and you'll see like a new wrinkle or something. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, how do I feel about this? And I'll slow down and kind of check in with myself. And I'm like, is this something I can be okay with?
Okay.
Like, or do I need to go do something about it?
No, I want to bring Brenda Cooper. She was the stylist for Fran Drescher on The Nanny. She is phenomenal. Like this, she's 68. She's never touched her face a day in her life. And she is hardcore about like owning beauty. And I would love to have her on here. She'll give us some timeless looks, based off of Fran Drescher's style, which I think is iconic. But also she talks about aging. And I saw her at a party and I was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. She's like, I've never touched my face. And I'm going to be honest, I get Botox. Like I like Botox. I would never do fillers. And I've got my boobs done. Like that's, she got her boobs done too, by the way. So we'll talk about that. But I mean, if you want to do something for yourself, you should do it. But I think aging gracefully comes from within.
I think we're just given the wrong messaging in society that women have, like, it's crazy because there is such a double standard between men and women. As men age and they get gray hair, they look distinguished. They're silver foxes. As women age and get gray hair, we're like haggard old spinster witches. And I'm like, actually, I'm kind of down to be a witch. So maybe that's okay for me to like have a little gray, because I have embraced this sort of like old crone, like crooked finger. Like I kind of like that energy. So I'm like, maybe I'll get like a hairy wart or something.
Well,
and
but
go
like
with
my
it.
wardrobe is changing now that I'm a mom. Like I have a ton of short shorts and I need longer shorts now.
No, you don't.
I want to
keep
get
the short shorts.
I keep
love
short shorts
it.
for like Nick and I,
Look, like I just did those drag brunches. It's like I think you
know.
can do that. I think you can pull off the short shorts forever.
I don't want to be honest.
Beyonce is hotter than she's ever been, and she's older than she's ever been. And so are we. I think you just like have to accept that you are aging. I think that's the first key.
Yeah.
Like you can't just pretend like it's not happening. It is part of life. It happens.
Yeah.
Acceptance is key. And then from there, it's like, okay, how do you work it? Work what you got.
Yeah.
Take it, own it, work it. And then don't try to like fix your imperfections too much.
No, I am so Nick's like, if you ever like make your face not look like your face, like I don't tell him I get Botox. I tell him I get facials. And
he doesn't know.
No. And one time I did get my lips done and I came back. He's like, what did you do to your face? He was so mad at me that I'm like, I am.
Well, I think your lips look really good.
Well, no, this was a long time ago. They've definitely gone away.
Oh. Okay. So it goes away after.
Oh, it goes away.
Really? Because some people it doesn't.
Oh, no, mine goes
Okay,
away.
there's another question. I want to know what routines you have that have worked consistently as moms.
Oh, my God. Routines are something I strive for, to be honest. Like, I know sleep at my house is so important. So that is the routine that I try to follow. I'm like, naps, like take your naps during the day, babies, and then sleep at night. Like I'm okay with the sleep training because if we're all getting good sleep, which we do now, we're all happier.
Yeah.
And so for me, I would like to have dinner with the family at night, but Nick doesn't get home from work until like 6:30. The kids are hungry at 5. So that's kind of where I struggle with like a routine, but I don't know. What
Napping is
I know.
so dreamy. It's so good. Look, everyone in Europe naps.
Yeah.
Go take a nap. Why don't we nap in the United States? Because we're all stressed out because everyone's like, you got to be working to be productive to make your life mean something. No, you don't.
No.
Take a nap.
I took 2 naps this weekend.
It's
I like
so good.
Saturday and Sunday. And 30 minutes, all I need, 30 minutes. I wake up, have a new cup of coffee. It's like a brand new day. And it just like I can get through the second half of the day.
Oh my God, some of these questions are really funny.
Okay, go.
I actually cannot.
Do a Survivor one because I know people, there's so many. The Parvati Survivor hot tub scene details. Still such an iconic scene.
I wasn't going to read that one.
There's so many fun ones. Tell me, I didn't watch this.
The hot tub one. That was my first season of Survivor. It was like a big reward. I was on the outside of my tribe. I was like, Hail Mary, I got 2 guys. I'm going to try to flirt with these guys. Little did I know Yule's not interested in that kind of thing. And Ozzy was just like really drunk and I don't know. I couldn't. It wasn't working. So I was like, whatever. I'm just going to enjoy myself. I was so drunk because on Survivor, when you win a reward, you haven't eaten in so long. You're such a lightweight. I was such a lightweight. I had 1 glass of champagne and I was like, party time. Let's take our night out. Nobody had a bathing suit.
Nick. Wait.
So we're all naked in the hot tub. Even Yule.
I did not know this was going to get this good.
I'm pretty sure Yule was naked. Actually, fact check that. I can't remember if he was or not. But I think we were, all of us. But nothing happened. But then we all slept in the same bed together because there was only one bed. So I was like, ooh, for once the odds are in my favor because I was like on the outside.
I'm so glad I read that one because I had no idea that existed. And
That's Cook Islands. If you haven't watched, go catch up.
It's so funny.
Amy, if you wrote a book, what would it be about?
Ooh. I would probably write a book about, like, I grew up, and you'll meet my mom today. I grew up with they had us really young and they had no money, but we were raised around love. And I feel like I would, probably do a memoir or something about like how I grew up and like how it sort of instilled, and then the life choices that I made, which are pretty crazy because as soon as I went on The Bachelor, I was like the next season I started working on it. But during that time I was like 22 and I was getting asked to go with my girlfriends on like, these New Yorker, like stock exchange bros, like they were going on a yacht. They're like, you want to come? And I like the decisions I had to make were like, no, I'm going to try PAing and see if that works. And thankfully I chose that instead of this like lifestyle of, boat hopping.
Oh my God, I could see you doing that too though.
But I wish I kind of did. I sent my friend Marielle on a yacht. I'll tell you, we're going
to talk to her.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that story. Okay, here's the last question, and then we'll get to our guests. What's some advice you both have for someone who feels behind in life at 18?
Ooh.
18 years old, they already feel behind in life.
Don't feel behind. I think for me, I didn't know what I wanted to do. In fact, I went to community college, and I think that really helped me decide, communications is the major I should go into. Like, there's so many job opportunities. Like, I don't think you have to have it all figured out at 18 or feel behind. But
well, here's what I think. I think we are brought up in a way that is very unhelpful for actual life. Because when you're little, you go through school, the school system, everything's structured for you. Everything's planned for you. You have to fall in line. You have to follow this roadmap that's already set up. And then once you graduate high school, it's like, okay, figure it out from there. And it's wide open and there's no structure and you have to make it for yourself. That I think is very intense and can cause a major crisis for someone who doesn't really know what they want to be or what they want to do with their life, or that feels a lot of pressure to be successful and achieve.
Right. I think, I don't know, like there's so many different types of jobs out there now. And I started from the bottom in TV, and I was able to look at all of the departments and be like, finance, no, I'm not the numbers girl. Like camera ops, oh, that looks heavy. Cast, I can do that. Like that's something I'm familiar with. I was on the others. So that worked out for me. I think starting from the bottom is so important because you're able to take pages from people's book that you look up to. So
yeah. And I would say don't be afraid of failing and getting it wrong. Because when I graduated college, I had a real job set up, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. I graduated with a degree in journalism and public relations, and I got a job working at a PR firm in LA.
Right.
When I was living in Georgia. And I was like, I'd worked my contacts and my network, and I got that job, and I was really excited about it. And in actually doing the job, it was miserable and I hated it. So I only lasted 3 months in there before I quit. And then I just went back to waitressing. Yeah. I was like, I love waiting tables. I love interacting with people. It feels like a family. It was really fun and I made good money. So I was like, I'm not going to feel like a failure because I'm doing something that I'm not using my college degree for. Right. I'm just going to see what's next and enjoy myself and pay my rent while I'm doing that. And that is what really led me to the next thing, Because one of my tables was, there was a girl who was a boxer.
Wow.
And then I had always wanted to box. And she was like, oh, you should go check out this gym. And it was like an underground gym. It was Bob Dylan's gym.
Whoa!
In Santa Monica. And I would never have found it or ever known about it unless I'd waited tables and met this girl.
I know. I think it's like the right place, right time. Like life works itself out. If you believe, I'm really good at like manifesting and believing in good thoughts in my head that good things are going to happen. Like I trust in the universe. Yes, there's some annoying days. You're going to get told no a lot. Like, I don't give a shit about no. I'm going to find the yes.
No is a path to yes.
Yes. I'm like, keep saying no and watch me, that's how I feel. And I like, you can't stop a person that works hard. So
yeah, just keep at it because you're never behind in life. And I think it's sort of like that old adage, when's the best time to plant a tree? And it's like 20 years ago. But the second best time is today.
Yeah.
So plant your tree.
Yeah. I mean, there's all these quotes I'd love to follow, but it's like, so many people change their career. Like, I wish I had them on me right now, but so many people change their career at 40, 50, 60, 70. It's like, I'm like, maybe I want to be an actor one day. Like,
I know. And when you're 18, that's the best time to experiment and play around with life and make mistakes and be really messy.
Yeah.
And I think there's all these phases of life that we go through. And it's like when you're really young and in your 20s, get messy, make mistakes. When you're in your 30s, make your family, create everything. Try it, play by the rules of society. Then when it doesn't work out, or if it works, cool. But if it doesn't, break free. And in your 40s, get wild, get creative. Use all your life experience to create your best perfect life for yourself.
And I have to tell you, like I said, I was raised with no money. And so I had to work. Like I would dog sit, house sit, babysit. I would take up any, like I would test out competition shows. I would go online and look at things. I would just try to make ends meet. I shared a room with a girl who slept on a air mattress, in Hollywood. And because I was like, I can't afford $800 rent. So I paid $400 rent, just to make, and I just kept increasing. And your work ethic I think for me means a lot. Like, and I can see it in other people. And that's why I really appreciate hard workers, because I'm like, oh, I see the work that you're putting in. Like, you deserve good things. Like,
yeah. And I think your courage matters too. So if you combine work ethic plus courage, that's a recipe for success.
Yeah.
Let's find out what our moms have to say about that.
Oh, let's talk to Gail Shallow.
My mom. She's shy, so I'm really happy she's coming on this podcast to talk with us. This is a big get.
This is a huge get. Are you
to
kidding?
Get Gail Shallow on the pod? All right, let's bring her in. Gail Shallow, welcome to Nice Girls Don't Win.
Gail, you are the greatest. She popped on here. We said, hey, can you be available? And she was like, yeah, I can.
I called her and I said, it's Mother's Day and we're doing a podcast and I need to talk to you. And she's like, well, your dad's going out skiing. And I'm like, wait, are you? She said, no.
Oh, good.
Thanks for making it happen.
Well, we have all the questions for you, Gail, because it's the Mother's Day episode. And I feel like you have raised a legend. And we have so many questions on how this turned out. And you did such a good job, Gail.
Look at her face. I terrorize her. She's...
Thank you, and thank you for having me on this special Mother's Day episode. Yes, she is a wonderful daughter, and we love everything about her. And you too, Amy.
Aww. I know, now you get me. Yeah. You have two daughters, so Parvati is the oldest. Mm-hmm. And what was it like bringing baby Parvati home? She's so doe-eyed to me. Was she really a pretty baby?
She was a gorgeous baby. And yes, she was a pleasure to bring home, a joy. So, it was like I don't know if I've told Parvati this story, but she was born in the middle of a thunderstorm at 4 p.m.
That tracks.
It was insane outside. We got to the hospital and she was born 3 hours later. So she really wanted to be here.
Okay. I have a question for you. What has been your biggest learning curve being a mother?
Oh my God. I think the biggest learning curve was that your children come into this world with their own personalities, and you think that you're going to guide them along this path, even as a baby, right? And that you will be kind of in control. And that absolutely does not happen. It was an insane learning period, and of just figuring out how to adjust to the child. And the child really was more in control than I was.
What did you think when Parvati said, hey, I'm going to go on this show called Survivor?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a total shock and surprise. She's always been an adventurer, so that's not a surprise, that part of it. But we had never watched Survivor, except we knew that it was like living in a jungle, living on the ground, right? And I don't know, Parvati, if you want me to tell this story, but when we were in the Okefenokee Swamp family trip and walking along the boardwalk, and then Parvati saw spiders and turned white as a ghost and almost passed out.
Okay, you're really underselling this. Okay, first of all, What family takes a family trip to a swamp for vacation?
I love it. I love a swamp.
What?
Sounds
And then
awesome.
secondly, we're on a boardwalk and we're walking in and like tra-la-la. And I look up and there is not a spider or two. It was a whole canopy of spiders like above me, like clouds full of spiders.
Very large spiders too.
I'm getting a kind of a
you
panic
remember it?
feeling in my chest right now just thinking about it. Oh my God. Yes. And on season 40, Winners at War, when I watched that show back, there's a night vision camera scene where we're all sleeping and we all sleep with buffs over our heads. And there is a spider on someone's face on their buff while they're sleeping. And I get up real close. I'm like, oh my God, there's a spider on that person's face. And then I get up closer and I'm like, that's my face.
Oh. Oh my God.
It was my very own face.
No, I can't.
So I don't know how I got over that.
Well, part
Yeah,
of me,
so that was the only part, that we were thinking was like, oh, this is kind of an unusual choice for someone who doesn't like that type of thing.
I would say I make unusual choices often. And you're really along for the ride. That's one thing that I really appreciate about you. And I think that you're the perfect mom for me because you are so accepting of all of my wild adventures and kind of like crazy twists and turns in my life. You're here for it. Even if it's like your friends call you and they're like, did you see what Parv's doing now? And you're like, sure did.
We're like, well, yes, she shares it with us regularly.
good.
I
Is she the
do.
first person you call? Like if you have something crazy happening in your life, do you call your mom?
I try not to.
You're like, I can't.
I try not.
unload.
She's been through a lot. Like, I want her to have a good time. She's
You're
out there
so
skiing.
nice.
I'm like, let me just see. I could resolve some of this drama on my own, and then I'll call her afterwards, and I'll be like, funny story.
I do appreciate that about you, Parv, but I'm always here for you. You know that. And
Yeah.
anytime you need me.
And Gail,
So you don't need to hesitate.
And it's been really interesting writing my book because I've had a lot of conversations with my parents about like my upbringing and kind of the earlier years that I've
Right.
forgotten things about. And my mom has shared some stories about her youth that have blown my mind. We won't say them on the podcast, but it's been really nice getting closer with you through the process of writing the book too, and seeing you for like a more fuller picture of who you are. I wish that for everyone, for their parents.
Thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure for me too. It's interesting because we all have our own experiences of what's going on. And then when you shared all that stuff that you were writing with the book and your experience, it was really eye-opening because we don't know what's going on in our kids' heads most of the time, right? I mean, we see the outward manifestation of it, but we don't always see the inner dialogue. And so it was really interesting to read that and kind of understand it a little more and talk with you about it. I appreciaed that opportunity. So.
well, and you're a grandma now too. So how? What is that? That's my dream. So
You're on your
I'm
way.
like, tell me everything. No. What's the best part about being a grandma?
Oh, Amma is just a joy and a delight. And Parvati and Sadashi are so close, which makes me really happy because they spend a lot of time together. So seeing that is really joyful for us. And then just watching Amma change. Like we will be gone for a month. We'll see her from once a month sometimes or once every 3 months. And just to see how she's changing and just what a delightful little person she is with her bravery and her fearlessness is insane to me because I'm like afraid of heights and she's climbing the highest things. And, she's just so smart and fun. And I'm just so grateful to be able to be part of her life. It's really special.
Okay, Mom, we're going to let you get back to your winter wonderland out there. But before we do, we're going to ask one final question for Mother's Day. What advice would you give to all the moms out there?
Oh, man. I would just say cherish every moment because they fly by too fast. And take care of yourself along the way. But really, don't stress over the little things. They're not that important in the long run.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm here for that.
Yeah, no stress.
Life is for living.
Life is for living,
We learned
Shanae.
that.
Yes.
Shanae.
Okay.
Thanks,
Gail.
Mom.
So wait, what are you doing for the
Thank
rest of the day? Is
you.
she gonna go?
Love
She's
you
gonna go
both.
skiing.
See you later.
What a
I
dream.
know. And guess what? It's May. It's May.
And you get to
And they're
continue
all-
skiing.
Skiing.
Wow.
And they just had a big dump of powder in Winter Park.
Living
We
the
did.
dream.
Yeah.
Your
Well,
dad's
you
very
deserve it.
happy.
Enjoy.
Go on, Gail.
All right. Love you guys.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Oh my gosh. How
She's so
cool.
sweet. I know. So she's really come into this new adventurous kind of lifestyle fairly recently. They moved from Georgia to Colorado. My dad is now a full-time ski instructor. And my mom's afraid of heights, but she's like gotten on the ski lift. She's started doing like skiing blues and
Wow.
yeah, she's really
That
going for
probably
it.
feels good.
She's come out of her shell a
I mean,
lot.
that's kind of like what to look for. It's like, what do we do with our time when we don't have to raise kids or we're, it's like empty nesters? Like, I feel like,
I think they're doing such a great job of demonstrating like what's possible in those years for me to see because they're like moguls. They have a little ski in, ski out spot
Yeah.
and that they live in, and then they have 1-2 floors down that they rent out on Airbnb and their friends
Wow.
come and stay. I know, they're like
okay,
running a
when's our trip?
biz.
Let's go.
It's-
I love
it's
that.
small. It's not like a Murphy bed.
Yeah,
we
but
would be
we are
sleeping
small.
on top of each other.
Like we've done this before.
True.
Okay,
Let's go.
let's get Kathleen Jean Bean on here, which is the greatest name I think of all time.
Kathleen Jane Bean,
She
who's
somehow
responsible
figured
for
it out. Yeah.
She's like, call me on Instagram. I'm like, what? Kathleen.
Hi, babes.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, look at your Native American backdrop. I just love you, Mama.
That's a painting by Leonard Poorbear.
So, Mom, thanks for being here. I have so many stories and so many questions that I want to get to because I am so proud to call you my mom. I feel like
Oh,
I talk about you all the time on here because I talk to you all the time. I feel like, I don't know. Thankfully, you're retired and chilling. She's a grandma. She's watching my sister's kids all the time, and she's being a good wife. So tell me the secret to it all, Mom. What's the secret?
the secret to everything is love.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I'm going to
the,
cry.
that's the bottom line of
I'm crying.
everything.
Kathleen.
That's just how I am. That's how I was raised, and that's how I raised my children.
What does that mean to you? Break it down for us.
Breaking it down is I love family, and I love get-togethers, and I love being a grandma. Just as Amy wants to be a grandma, it's my joy. Having my children was my joy, and my husband, who I still get butterflies in my stomach when I see. We're
I
just
know.
blessed.
Cute.
That's how I feel.
I know.
Wow.
But you take no shit. So you've been the person
I
that's sort
take
of,
no shit.
This is Amy's mantra that she lives by: be kind and take no shit. And that comes directly from you.
yeah.
Where did you get
Oh.
it from?
My mother.
So this is the matriarchal lineage.
Oh yeah, strong women.
Well, my mother was born and raised on a reservation in South Dakota called Pine Ridge, and she married my Irish dad. So she just had a lot of things in her life that were not easy, but my mother always loved, and just
Joy.
her family means everything to her, and joy. And she couldn't wait to be a grandma either. But,
Oh my gosh.
she's no longer with us, but I still feel her with me every day.
She would speaking of like me wanting to be a grandma, she would have us over, and she has a ton of grandkids, and she would tell
Yes.
us ghost stories. She was the best storyteller, and we would sit around because she was born on the reservation, so she would, I don't know if she made them up, but they all felt like, and she liked to spook
She
us a
never
little bit.
made a story up.
She never made a story up. She is then we went back to the reservation with her. She was Miss Black Hills. She was like the gorgeous girl at the reservation. And it's so funny because everyone's like, Charlene's your grandma, like they were so excited that was my grandma. And she really is fun.
She's like a celebrity on the Pine Ridge Reservation.
Oh my God. Well, you take after her then, Amy.
I know. And she had 6 kids. My mom was the only one that came out with red hair and freckles. Everyone else looked
Yes.
super native. But Mom, let's talk about your nickname.
What is it?
What do they call you? Red? They call you Red.
Red.
Big Red?
Absolutely. Especially my Uncle
That was the
Jim
talk.
still calls me Red. He'd say things like, I'd rather be red than I'd rather be dead than red in the head. And I said, I'd rather be dead than, I don't know. It got all convoluted after a while. I'd rather be red than dead in the head. That's what I tell him.
Oh.
Wait, the funniest thing was when we were driving up to the cottage for spring break, and Amy and you are calling each other nonstop, and you're talking
Yes.
about reality TV and who won and who's annoying, and you guys watch the same shows,
Yeah.
and you just gossip with each other.
She loves Survivor, so she's been watching Survivor. I used to be like, "What are you watching?" Like I could never get behind it at home with them because they like all the sci-fi.
She'd fall asleep.
I'd fall asleep.
Sci-fi stuff. My parents are into that too.
And so I'm like, whatever they like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. But now I love watching Survivor. I think it's really good.
Is that your favorite show right now?
It's one of them. I like to watch it.
What else are you digging into these days?
I hate to admit the Bravo shows,
I love
but
them.
it's true.
I love them.
What's your
Wait,
favorite?
I
the
love 'em
Valley,
too.
Mom, can we talk about the Valley? Because she's not watching. And
I'm
I know
not.
we have a couple viewers and listeners that are watching the Valley. It's wild. Jax Taylor?
It's so wild. I just feel bad for Brittany, don't you?
Yeah.
She just got herself in a predicament.
Oh my god, you two are so funny. She's in a predicament.
Okay, really
Wait.
quick. I want to know because I was a crazy teenager. How was I as a
Oh,
a
dear
kid?
God in heaven. I had a minivan that could, I don't know what it is about the mom gene, but I could find that girl anywhere. She was trying to out, and I'm in my minivan chasing her down, and she's in a little sports car with her best friend that's 2 years older than her, and trying to get away from me, but she couldn't. She could not get away.
What was the worst thing Amy ever did
Ooh.
as a kid?
She came out of the womb, just her head was out. That child was already screaming, but she turned into the sweetest little girl. And I mean, she was still is kind-hearted, sweet, wonderful little girl. And then the teenage years hit. And I now know how my mother felt when I was a teenager, which that only lasted a year. And then she was, probably a year. Amy has always been ambitious. She's a go-getter and she doesn't play. It is the way it is. She gets things done. And I love that about her. I'm very proud of her.
Where does Amy get her dance moves from?
She's got good dance moves,
She's
but
got really good dance moves.
probably her dad.
Oh.
I want to tell the story because, Mom, growing up, I remember this vividly. You were like, you're going to experiment with drugs. Like we talked about, I always felt safe to come to you, but you were like,
Good.
I'm going to take you somewhere and I'm going to show you if you make these life decisions, this is what your life can be like. And you brought me to the scary part of Stockton. I'm from Stockton, California. Why'd you do that?
I did it because you think you're hiding things from me. And my mother liked to look through rose-colored glasses. She didn't want to know what I was doing. I couldn't be that kind of mom. I was different. I knew everything you did. I don't know why I knew that. It's just this intuition I have with you, Amy, in particular. All my kids, but you. And I said, you can't do anything I haven't done. Believe me, and I'll know every sign. and I did. And I had to keep her on track, and she kept herself on track too, though. Amy really got a lot going on. She was a cheerleader. I kept my kids busy. They always were into water polo, swimming, sports. Amy played baseball with the boys team, Girl Scouts until they aged out of that. It's just, and then they were catechism teachers. However, I'm not really a Catholic anymore at all. That's how our children were raised.
But
though.
you send holy angels every time anyone gets on
I
a flight.
say holy angels surround you and keep you safe and keep your heart safe.
You're
and
so cool.
I say that to everybody I love because I think it's important. And I know that that this isn't just it. There's something up above.
Okay, well, Amy sent this to me. So I was going on a plane one day. I was flying to Phoenix, and before that happened, a bird flew into my glass door, and it died in front of my eyeballs. And I was like, oh God. And I buried this bird and I put crystals around it in my backyard. And I was like, I'm going to go get on a plane. And as I'm walking on the plane, I'm like, what if that bird was a sign and my plane is going to go down and I'm going to die? And Amy was like,
Nope.
no, holy angels. And I swear to God, it made me so calm. I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to be fine.
But my mom's always like, what would you say that dead bird was a sign of? I called my mom after, if that happened, I'd be like, Mom, what does this mean? Because she's a Native American.
Yes, and it was like a beautiful little bird, and I have birds tattooed all over my body. I feel very connected to birds. And when this little sweet little bird
Transformation
died.
I think. What does it mean, Mom?
I just think it got off track, and it thought that it could get through it didn't know there was a window there, and it was pure coincidence and accident. That's how I feel.
What does it signify in life?
Nothing.
What?
It signifies once you put the holy angels around you, you were stressed about it, but that's just what happens.
Yeah.
It's
She's just
sad,
straight
but
up.
it's
She's
true.
not going deeper than that.
No,
She's
okay.
taking us straight forward.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
Okay, but I will say also beyond that, so I put all these crystals around it, and then I left and I went on my trip, and when I came back, one of the crystals had been returned to me, and it was at
Oh.
a tree, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And I went back over to where the bird was. The bird's gone. Maybe like an animal ate it or something. But all the other crystals were gone. So I just put that other crystal back where it was where the bird used to be. And then the following day, the crystal was again returned to the tree.
Oh, wow.
That's actually really awesome. Maybe the bird was just knocked out cold and dug its way out. Really, that could be something that happened.
I know.
Oh, can you imagine?
It probably
It was dead.
No,
That thing was
And then,
dead.
because you honored it,
Fucking
you
buried in a live
honored
bird.
this bird. You
Mom-
kept getting the stone back because you honored the bird.
Aw.
Mom,
That's
she
how I
loves
look at it.
feathers. Mom, you love feathers and all the things. Like she's so cool. I think I could talk about her.
Oh, Amy.
I know, you guys are the sweetest. Well,
Oh.
How's Amber doing? I love hearing her talk about my sister.
What do you want me to say about that? Ding dong. I just love her so much. But I mean, that girl is a lot like my mother. She would trip, and also my sister Patty. She was walking, and I mean, anything could trip that girl up. She's just a klutz.
Yeah, we call her.
She's an amazing mother, and all of my kids, I feel, are really doing what they are meant to do in life. Amber is going to be an art teacher. She's already a teacher, but she really wants to focus in on the art part, and that's what she's doing. She's raising 2 beautiful kids. I have 8 grandchildren total. I wish I could see Amy's kids more, but we are coming down at the end of the month, and I cannot wait.
And not wait. Tell me
Yeah.
about what do you think? My sister's going to make an adult coloring book, and
I love
it's
this
so
idea.
it's really a cool idea. How do you feel about that, Mom?
It's a horny
I think
coloring
it's
book.
wonderful because all of my kids, this is just bragging, but it's true. They're very good artists. I don't know where they got it from because it sure wasn't me. Not in that kind of department anyway.
What would you say your strengths are, Mom?
I say, I know this isn't a common thing for people, but how you're born and you feel like your path of what you're supposed to do is, and I've always in my heart have felt that my most desired thing is to be a wife, mother, and grandma. That's exactly.
Oh, someone's
I
calling.
think someone's calling her.
Someone was
right in the middle
calling me.
of the night.
I had to hang up. That was Patty.
You know, Patty.
Oh God, Patty interrupting our
And,
podcast.
and yes, she already tried to call one other time. I'll call her back though. And then also, what I love to do is cook. And that's where I met my husband.
Oh yeah. They.
So I
both
guess
are-
that's my art form.
Wait, you met your husband cooking
Mhm.
in
Yes.
a fancy restaurant, right?
In a restaurant. Yes, in a fine dining seafood restaurant. And we didn't start off as cooks, believe me. We started off, he was a busboy and I was a salad girl. But we moved up into that.
Salad girl.
You know.
Okay.
So-
Yeah.
Mom, you want to talk? The only job I've ever been fired from is from Bud Seafood Grill.
Bud Seafood
Yeah,
Grill,
tell
and
us
he
why.
is
This
my
is my
original
favorite.
boss. He fired me twice and I kept going back.
Wait,
He's
tell us
kind of
why.
a family member though.
Why was Amy fired? This is my favorite. Do you remember?
It could be a multitude of reasons, but what were you fired for? I can't remember.
one very specific reason.
Well, the phone, this is before cell phone. So I was the hostess and the phones kept ringing for me always. Like, so they're like, is Amy there? And that was kind of annoying for him. But what really was the tipping point was when he caught me in the freezer eating all the shrimp.
Shrimp cocktail.
I was like, this is amazing. This is for free here. Like, this is the greatest job ever. I'd be eating those shrimp, and he's like, all right, we gotta. Oh, I also spilled wine all over a woman. I think there was a.
There was a multitude of things, but he really did love Amy. It still does, but
I love
he
it. They would've
also
forgiven
was
you.
very particular about everything. He fired me twice, and I still came back. But
Yeah, they can't get rid of us.
No, but I will always want to be a server.
And he's kind of a family member because his wife is my aunt's sister through marriage. So
my mom will talk about her second cousin whose sister's brother-in-law, you know,
You stay
she's
very
got all
close.
that.
Yeah.
She's
Is
connected.
it something like, because this is not, I don't have the skill set of like being the glue that holds people together, but I see my mom do it. She does it with like our extended family. Her parents have both passed, but my dad's mom is still alive, and my mom like takes it upon herself to organize. We do pilgrimages to New Hampshire. It feels like we're going to Europe. It takes forever to get there, but we get there and she's organized this Airbnb with like all the extended family. Everyone flies in and it's a whole family thing. And I'm like, I don't think I will be capable of doing that. But do you do that? Is that like a mom thing that we have to do?
We literally have a family reunion every year at Mickey's Grove on my dad's side of the family. Now, my dad passed a year and a half ago, a little over a year ago, actually. But we still do these family reunions, and I think we're going to continue. And we are now that generation that have to put it on. My siblings and cousins, because most of us have lost our parents now.
You are good at like supplying the food and bringing the entertainment, but you're not the one hosting and emailing people and telling them where it is.
No, I'm not.
She is.
Oh my God,
that is me.
Yeah, that's Amy. That's why this podcast actually exists, because Amy comes over here and she's like, "All right, time to get on." And I'm
Call
like,
your mom.
Wait, we're doing a Mother's Day episode, and she's like, "I'm like, do I need to call my mom?" She's like, "Yes."
Oh, that's so sweet of you girls. You are the best to have this Mother's Day thing for us.
Well, I just feel so lucky to have met your daughter. You did such a good job raising her. She is the best person, I think, in the world. The best person in the world.
So
Look how close we sit next to each other.
I know.
We've started matching outfits. Like we started wearing
Every day.
opposite outfits.
We go to a meeting the other day, Mom, and we literally have the same outfit on, but just different
colors. Like a vest
you guys
and
are
jeans.
so cute. I listen to every single podcast. There's not one I miss.
Thank you.
Love it.
We love you.
And I love both of you. I love you, Parvati, too.
I'm so grateful I got to meet you and your whole family for Easter.
I know. We loved having you. That was so fun.
Well, thanks for coming on today and talking to us.
We love you, Mom.
Of course. Love you
so
too.
much. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mama's Day.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you, ladies.
Tell Dad hi.
Love you.
Love you. I'll
Talk
call
to
you
you soon.
after.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Call you in 5.
Call you soon.
Call me when it's done. I love you.
Okay, bye.
Oh
Bye.
God, you guys are so close. It's really cute. And I can tell that she feels like so connected to you.
Mom, you can hang up.
I don't know.
She wants to stay on. She's going to stay on for the rest of the podcast. She's your biggest fan and your biggest supporter.
I know. Thank God. She keeps me excited about that, but she humbles me too. She tells me straight up, like if something doesn't feel right or it's not good, she's the first to tell me. And
she's very no nonsense, but also very loving.
Yeah,
that's a hard thing to get right.
I know. I think she's
balance.
Just naturally that way, but she slips up every now and then on things. So
don't we all? 80-20 rule. You taught me the 80-20 rule.
I like this.
80% is good. That's good enough.
Yeah, I always think like in life, in friendships, marriage, like the workload, anything, everything, like 80% should be firing. Like so awesome. And 20%, it's like, fuck it.
Don't try to make it perfect.
No.
That's going to trip you up every time.
80-20.
I love that. It just gives you a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
to fuck it up.
Fuck it up.
Fuck it
Every now and then.
up.
Thank you so much. I hope all you moms out there have the best Mother's Day. We're really, in this together. There's no rule book. There's no handbook on how to do it right. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Just keep 80% going.
That's right.
Yeah, be proud of yourself for that. We're
And
proud of you.
Write a comment. Let us know what you did for Mother's Day or what your plans are, and inspire other moms.
And we'll celebrate the best comment that we get. We'll give you a shout out.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Happy
See you
Mother's
next week.
Day. Bye.
Bye.